They call me Mr. Know-It-All. I will not compromise. I will not be told what to do, and I shall not step aside.
Does this vintage microphone sound better than a new one?
Now, this is the microphone that your grandpa would have used when he was in high school.
And today I'm going to find out if it sounds better on guitars, well, than a modern microphone does.
Okay, here is the story behind this microphone. This is a vintage microphone. It's a Shure microphone called a 450 Series 2 broadcast microphone, and it was used back in the day for broadcasting, spoken word, narration of sports games, things along that nature.
This mic actually was released in, well, I don't really know. It's kind of hard to pinpoint the exact date, but when I look it up using some AI, it says the late 1970s and into the 1980s is when this mic really started popping up all over the place. Take a look at the bottom where you can see here. You do have an impedance switch for a high and a low, and then the big old sticker here that tells you exactly what it is. This mic is also made in Mexico. So it intrigued me because everything about this mic is just cool and unique. I absolutely love collecting mics, and it makes everything
sound like a Primus song. I think Les Claypool would be proud.
The thing about this mic though is you need to press this button down every single time you want to talk into it in order for audio to pass, in order to get a signal. We're gonna plug this in today into my preamp here, and we're gonna do this mic and a Shure SM57, the good old tried and true, and see which one sounds better on guitars. I'd like to know before we even do this, what do you think it's gonna be? Let me know in the comments. Now, of course, this mic, like I just said, has to be pressed down. So in order to do that, how am I gonna do that? We're gonna use a piece of Velcro, and I'm gonna wrap it around, and I'm gonna push it down. Okay, so first of all, immediately I realized that this mic is way, way hotter in signal than the other mic, so I gotta bring this way down so that we don't clip.
So I don't want to get over-engineery. Is that a word? Over-engineery? I don't want to get too technical.
But what makes this microphone sound so different? Well, it's got obviously much older components in it, and it gives it this kind of band-passed sound. If you don't know what that is, it's got a cut in the high end, a cut in the high frequencies, and a cut in the low frequencies that gives it kind of this radio vibe, which to me just has its own really cool feel to it, you know? It's just something so unique. Perfect for, like, you know, old school broadcasting, or if you wanted to do one of those like old detective films where it's like,
it was a Tuesday. I was up at the bar, see? I was enjoying a cigarette and a martini when she walked in. Legs up to here.
You know, it's just got that really cool thing to it. But vintage does not always mean better. As soon as I plugged in the SM57, the signal was way hotter. and I had to actually turn the preamp down because, you know, it just was way hotter. It immediately started clipping. So you're going to get a completely wider frequency response with the new microphones, which is not surprising at all. And I kind of knew that going into this, but it was just fun to test it because what a unique piece right here. Honestly, I would love to know your thoughts on the characteristics of this microphone, the looks on this microphone, your thoughts in general on this mic. Look, the cable is part of the mic, right? You can't like disconnect it or anything, although it is still XLR in the end. Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time that I see you. Peace.